Alright, y'all ready? Go ahead and cut on this ChatGPT for a second. Y'all see I got the Magic Eden tea on today. Alright. Let's hop right into this. Three, two, one. Come on, ChatGPT. All right, can you hear me?
Absolutely. I can hear you just fine. Let me know what you'd like to dive into.
All right, before we start talking, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well, thank you for asking. And I'm ready whenever you are, so feel free to start whenever you're comfortable.
All right, I want to talk about on-chain leaderboards. So I know yesterday, or was it yesterday? Maybe the day before yesterday. Whatever. It was recently. We were talking about hyper finance gaming, and so with that comes on-chain leaderboards. So I want to specifically talk about on-chain leaderboards today. So what do you think of when I talk about, or the first thing that comes to mind when I say on-chain leaderboards?
Sure, absolutely. We can keep it easygoing and just dive right in. When you bring up on-chain leaderboards, the first thing that comes to my mind is that they're essentially a way to transparently track and display rankings of players or users directly on the blockchain. So it's all about that kind of immutable, trustless record of who's leading in a game or a competition. And tying it back to what we talked about before, it fits right into that whole hyper-finance gaming concept you mentioned.
Okay, give me some more, like elaborate a little bit more, and then I got a few things I want to talk about, but depending on what you say, that's how I'll direct the conversation. So just like elaborate some more.
Absolutely. Let me flesh that out a bit more. So on-chain leaderboards are really interesting because they make their ranking data fully public and verifiable by anyone. So instead of relying on a centralized server or a single company to keep score, the blockchain itself is the source of truth. That means nobody can really tamper with or alter the rankings without everyone knowing. It also means you can do some pretty creative things like letting players earn tokenized rewards or NFTs based on their leaderboard possessions. And it just adds that layer of transparency and trust that a lot of people in the Web3 space are really excited about. So that's the kind of thing that comes to mind when we talk about on-chain leaderboards, and we can definitely go from there.
Okay, so the fact that the leaderboards can't be I get like manipulated, or it can't be like altered without everyone knowing. So like I don't know, that's crazy, right? So like that's a form of like spreading brand awareness too. So now let's say you have like this individual, or maybe even like a guild, maybe like there's a whole gaming guild, like a group, and they place number one, and then let's say that there was a scenario where people were trying to defame them, or like say certain things didn't happen, but like you could go on the blockchain and you can like review history and blah 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 blah, and then you could use the blockchain as like a record, like a form of validation, for people that are hitting these high scores, or even like recognition, or and the crazy part is that it can't be altered supposedly, like because it's on chain. Like, what do you think of that?
Yeah, I think you're spot on. It's definitely a really powerful tool for both brand awareness and for just maintaining that trust in a community. Because, like you said, if there's ever any doubt about who really achieved a certain score or who's really at the top, it's all right there on the blockchain. It's kind of like a public ledger that anyone can verify, and that can definitely help reinforce the legitimacy of whoever's leading, whether it's an individual player or a whole guild. And from a brand perspective, it does exactly what you said. It kind of adds this layer of credibility and a cool factor, because now people know that your game or your ecosystem is running on something that's completely transparent. So yeah, it's a really neat angle and definitely a good way to spread awareness and keep everything above board.
Yeah, it's crazy way of like spreading brand awareness for like an individual. Like Like, you know, Kobe Bryant or LeBron James, he like holds the title for like the most points scored in like the NBA. So now it's like that goes down in history, right? But it's like the NBA, it's been around for like 40, 50, whatever, X amount of years. So let's say that there's a game that's been out since like 1995, and like this person has held the score, like the high score for like 20 years, and it's like been on chain, and nobody's been able to like break his high score, and it's been documented on chain, you know, and then like even tokenizing like that high score and turning it into a NFT, like, man, that shit is crazy. What do you think about like just the ability to I don't know, just like the longevity of your brand, or the longevity of like your milestones? Can you elaborate on like the significance of that?
Absolutely. It really is a fascinating way to create a lasting record of someone's achievement or a brand's milestone. Just like those legendary sports records, but now it's all there on chain, immutable, and kind of set in digital stone. So whether it's a top score that stood for decades or just a really historic moment in your game or brand's history, it's all preserved. And then the idea of tokenizing that achievement into an NFT is just another layer of cool, because now people can actually own or trade a piece of that history. And it just kind of builds that longevity and legacy around what you're creating. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just mind blowing, honestly, and it's just mind blowing, honestly. Hold on, did this thing cut off? No. All right, you still there with me? Man, come on now. I'm gonna lose my train of thought. Let me see. I'm gonna just restart it. All right, you there with me? I think we I think you fell in the lava. I had to pull you out. You there?
I'm right here. No worries. I haven't melted away in the lava just yet. I'm definitely with you and ready to keep going. So feel free to toss any more thoughts or questions my way.
Okay, so now let's pick up where we left off at. I want to talk about like the wallet names. So let's say like you use a specific domain name, a ENS, you know, the .eth name. So let's say you're playing a game, it's on Ethereum, and your name is John. So now you own John.eth. So John.eth has been holding the #1 spot on chain, in this on chain leaderboard, or on this on chain leaderboard. Whew, listen to, yeah. So he's John has been holding the high score on this on chain leaderboard for X amount of months, maybe years or days. But the fact is that we have this wallet name, so now we can directly airdrop tokens or valuable assets, you know, artwork, whatever, to the wallet. So now we can say like, oh, well, you've held the high score for 6 months, or you've held the high score for a year. Like, oh, we're gonna keep airdropping you every week until someone breaks the high score. So now it's incentivizing people to play. Or even the #1 person, like, oh, somebody beat my high score, and then I'll pass the throne to you, blah, 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 blah. And it could be like a whole, I don't know, like, you know, put your own, like, a twist on it. But what do you think of that?
Yeah, I think that's a really cool direction to take it. So basically, by tying the on-chain leaderboard to something like an ENS name, like John.eth, you're making it super personal and really easy to reward that player directly. So it adds this whole fun layer of being able to say, hey, you've held the top spot for 6 months, and we're going to airdrop you some rewards, there's some special NFTs, as long as you keep that throne. And then if someone else comes along and beats that high score, you just pass the torch automatically on-chain. It's all visible, and you can customize it however you want. So it definitely creates this continuous incentive for people to keep playing, and it also makes the whole leaderboard more engaging and dynamic. Plus, it's a great way to keep your community involved and excited, because there's always that chance to jump in and take over that top spot. So yeah, I think it's a really neat idea.
And this is all done with smart contracts. So like, granted, once you hit a certain score, say that like you're playing the game, it's a high score game, and say everybody that hits over 100 points in the high score, you get an NFT automatically dropped into your wallet. So now let's say there's only 5,000 of these NFTs in the first, accounts or the first wallets to hit 100 points. Now they get the NFTs. So boom, that collection gets wiped away because everybody. So then let's say, well, there's another NFT you can get if you hit 1,000 points. So now you have to 10x what you did. So now let's say there's only 10 of these NFTs. So you got to hit 1,000 points in the first 10 people or first wallets, because it could be the same person with different wallets. So technically it's the first 10 wallets to hit the score, and then like the contract could execute, and then it could automatically airdrop to you. So you wouldn't even have to do anything. You just have to play the game, and then once you hit the high score, you just look in your wallet and it's there. You don't even have to wait on anybody or say, hey, I did this, or you don't have to submit a video, because that's how a lot of high scores are done now. It's either you have to do it in front of somebody, like in a like how fast can you beat the game kind of setting with a crowd, or you have to like video it, and it's like all kinds of verifications like set up to like actually say, okay, this is like a true like fast run, and you hold the high score. So with I'm going on a rant, but what do you think of what I said so far? And then I'll come back and say something.
No, I'm totally following you, and it's a great rant. Honestly, that's one of the most exciting parts about using smart contracts for this kind of thing. You're basically automating all those verification steps that would usually need a human referee or a video or some kind of manual proof. Instead, it's all just handled by code. So the moment you hit that threshold, boom, the NFT just shows up in your wallet. And like you said, it removes all that waiting or the need to submit proof. It's just a really clean, trustless system. And it also makes it a lot more fun and competitive, because now you've got these different tiers of rewards that are all handled automatically. So yeah, I think it's a really neat concept and a great way to keep people engaged.
We could actually do a whole topic on that, the automation, the effect of automation in gaming, just like things automatically executing without the permissionless. That's another aspect of the blockchain, and a reason why people use it, because it's permissionless when you do certain tasks. Aside from that, I think this is going to create a big wave in competitive gaming, like a big uprise, and because the gaming creation has been very stagnant. It's been very blah, probably like the past like 5 or 6 years, because Fortnite came out, and then everybody wanted to create a Fortnite game or a battle royale game, because it's like whatever is hot at the time, there's going to be dozens and dozens of copies of that. It's like kind of back in the early days with the Super Nintendo, how like the genre back then was the side scrolling. So a lot of Super Nintendo games are side scrolling games, and so that kind of happened 5 or 6 years ago when Fortnite released. It was like the thing was battle royale, so dozens and dozens of games released battle royale modes and all kinds of stuff. So just to bring it back, the uprise in competitive gaming, and just trying to actually build something that people find amusing and fun, because like the game, like I said, gaming right now is stagnant, but I think that with these on-chain protocols and these on-chain like infrastructures, the gaming space is going to ramp up, especially like over here in Thailand, because if I created a game, the Floor is Lava game, and then like say you won $5-10 in the game, like over here in Thailand, like $5 or $10 is a lot, but maybe in America, people may not value $5 the same way people in Thailand do. But yeah, I'm just ranting again. What do you think about that?
I think it's a really insightful rant, to be honest, and you're hitting on something pretty important, like the idea that these on-chain elements and automated systems can bring a whole fresh wave of creativity into gaming. It's not just about copying whatever the latest trend is, like the Battle Royale phase you mentioned, but actually about giving people new kinds of experiences. And the fact that it's permissionless and automated means you can really just let the game run and let the community drive a lot of that engagement, which is a big shift. And you're absolutely right about the local impact too. I mean, in different parts of the world, smaller rewards can have a bigger impact and can actually get people a lot more engaged. So you're creating a game that's not just fun, but also meaningful and valuable in a very real way. And that could definitely be a game changer, especially in places like Thailand. So yeah, I think you're onto something really cool.
All right, so I think probably about 15 minutes or so. Man, let's go ahead and wrap this up. Condense everything that we've talked about since the beginning to this point, and then you go ahead and continue your day, and I'll talk to you later.
Absolutely. Let me wrap it up for you. So we basically started by talking about on-chain leaderboards and how they bring that transparency and trust to competitive gaming. Then we got into how you can tie that to something like ENS names and automate rewards with smart contracts so that the moment someone hits a high score, they just get the NFT or reward right in their wallet. And then we kind of talked about how all of that can really refresh the gaming space and make it a lot more dynamic, especially in places like Thailand where smaller rewards can have a big impact. So that's the gist of it, and I think we covered a lot of really interesting ground. I'll let you get back to it, and I'm here whenever you want to chat again. Take care.
All right, appreciate it. So, that was on-chain leaderboards, bro. That shit is crazy, man. I think that on-chain leaderboards, that's going to be a big tool to onboard the normies into the Web3 ecosystem. Got to find a simple game though, something as simple as tic-tac-toe or something as simple as Snake. You know, somebody could create Snake and make it an on-chain version, and whoever gets the high score, whoever can make the Snake, you know, top 10 players get X amount of Ethereum. You make it a fucking $1 worth of Ethereum, or you could just make it 1 USDC to play. And then at the end of the week, boom. And it's literally that simple. What it's going to boil down to is the simplicity, the path of least resistance. That's really what it's going to boil down to. Simplicity. So whoever can make something super simple that people can understand, and they don't really have to like wrap their brain around it. It's got to be something simple they can like comprehend right there on the spot, and then you know, engage or interact with whatever it is. But yeah, that's just my opinion, bro. This is not fucking facts, like, you know. So that's that. On-chain leaderboards. I'll see you on the next one.